do some private
They made
messaging
also
or in
some
those sorts of
optional
stuff.
suggestions as well, like if you want to improve that, also that kind of stuff. And yeah, that was a nice actually experience to work together directly with someone from Shopify, for product manager, and I think that kind of experience is important as a partner in the future. They can this can open more opportunities for you because now they know that how it is to work with us. So for me, it was one of the motivations just to experience working closely with Shopify and see how it is and giving directly feedback also.
Hey Shopify app developers, this one's for you. When's the last time you actually took a real break? The kind where you don't have to check support tickets on your phone every few minutes. Well, there's a team that's making that possible. The Support Heroes. Since 2020, they've supported over 100 Shopify apps across 40 plus developers, earning their reputation as the leading outsourced customer support service for Shopify apps. Their team works 24/7, 365 days a year to deliver real empathy and real expertise. And they do this so developers can focus on building, growing, or honestly just getting some well-earned rest. If you're already feeling stretched thin or tied up in support queries, this is the perfect moment to plan ahead. Let the Support Heroes take support off your plate while you focus on taking your product to the next level. All right, hey everyone! Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Liquid Weekly podcast. I'm your host, Karl Meisterheim, and with me, as always, my esteemed colleague, the Mr. Taylor Page. Taylor, good morning.
Carl, good morning. How are you, sir?
Good. Good to see you.
You too.
Now, you know, Taylor, you and I were talking the other day about Shopify app minis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's new and it's cool, and we also realized that we have no idea what they're about. And so we did the hard work of leveraging your excellent community and finding someone who actually knows something about this. And not only that, but app development as well. And so today we're excited to have Farid Masumov, app developer extraordinaire, one of the first Shopify app mini releasers, and he's here to talk with us today. So Farid, welcome to the show.
Hello, Carl. Hello, Taylor. Yeah, really great to be on this show. I'm a long-time big fan of the show and listening it also quite a lot. And yeah, really great to be a guest here.
Yeah, thank you for making the time to come on and share with us. I'm pretty excited because this is a lot of stuff none of us really know much about quite yet. It's so new.
Yes. And I want to compliment your jacket. That's very nice. Did they send that to you or did you purchase it?
Yes, from Shopify Supply, of course.
Of
yeah,
course.
That's great.
Yeah, I am a little concerned that neither of you are wearing the beanies from Renaissance. I thought you all ran on order those.
I mean, I did. They didn't. I mean, I haven't got mine yet. I don't even know if it's shipped.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now I'm like, did you pick up one of the beanies, Farid?
No.
No. Okay, I'm the only one that got suckered in immediately. Of like, oh, I gotta buy this. They get me. Like that's just I see it and I'm like I gotta get. Yeah, it still says waiting for details to ship. So at the time of this recording, at least, we're a couple weeks out from editions, and it's still just sitting there in my shop app, just waiting for details, guys. I do have another beanie from the supply shop.
If you're listening to this, it's really cold where Taylor lives right now, so his head, his valuable, beautiful head, his big brain is at risk of freezing. We need this beanie.
It is. My kids got off school today because of the weather, so they got their Christmas break one day early.
As a parent, that's terrible. But anyway, now speaking of cold, Farid, you hail from across the pond in the colder, wetter, lower parts, right?
It's actually at the moment it's not that cold. It's like around 15 degrees, and yeah, feels okay. But normally at this time of the year, it's should be very cold here, like around 0 degrees, freezing. Yeah. But it's cool. We are lucky.
That's good. Yeah, I went outside to take my kid to a doctor's appointment this morning before this recording, and all of my car doors were frozen shut because it was raining hard last night and then it plummeted, and so now everything is just frozen. So.
Yeah, and 15 degrees Celsius for those of you who are in freedom units over here is like 59 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's you're living the high life right now, my friend. It's chilly over here.
Now, one of the things we like to do, Farid, is try to understand how someone got to where they are in their career in terms of Shopify development. So if you could walk us through your origin story, how did you become a Shopify app developer superhero that's talking to us today?
Yeah. Just starting how I become developer. I always actually wanted to be entrepreneur. That was when I was kid. I always wanted to create my own company, but I really had no idea how I will do that. Like what path I should go. I was thinking about like studying something about management or that kind of things because I had no idea. It was sounded like if I study management, I will be can create my own company or something like that. But then it ended up in the way that I studied computer engineering. I decided to study computer engineering, and that's how I started actually with all this programming stuff. So the day that I knew that I am accepted to computer engineering, I started doing web HTML stuff, learning very basics, actually trying to do website for people, like asking local shops, like, do you need a website? I was doing like web shops in Turkey for baklava stores, like anyone, like I would ask, like, do you want a website? Like, do you have it? And then I would just make websites for them. And like after graduating from the university, I actually, my first job was in PHP as a PHP developer. So I started as a backend engineer. And this is actually how I also started with Shopify, like because the company that I started, they were trying to compete with Shopify. So they had a plans to build a Shopify competitor application. So it was almost like Shopify clone. And I just started my career in that project. And that's how I start actually reverse engineering, trying to understand how Shopify works. So one of my tasks was to actually build app store for our local application. And I was trying to understand about how authentication works, how apps can, how this architecture of the building apps can be, like how you can use APIs, this kind of stuff. And I built all internal apps for our own platform. But then
What
at
year
that
was this?
moment, it was like 2016, something like that, probably. Uh, so I'm really bad at dates, by the way. So we'll need to check that. And that's basically how I started doing all this stuff. And at that moment, I said, like, why not to actually build some apps for Shopify? So I started building very small apps. At that moment, there wasn't many apps, like maybe 100 apps or something on Shopify. And it was times where it was like square logos, like small logos, like it was very interesting design of the app store also. And it was very easy to be accepted also. I built like, there was like beta section, maybe someone is remembering this, but you could just put your app in beta section and you didn't even need approval for that. And people can start already using beta apps. And I was surprised many stores actually was installing my apps, even if it wasn't like something big. And then I decided to build my first serious app, which was product recommendation app. It was called Recomify. And that app actually got quite successful. I started making money with that app and everything was going well. But until moment where PayPal was restricted in Turkey. I was living in Turkey at that time. But there was some problems with between government and PayPal, and they just restricted PayPal. And PayPal at that moment was the only way for Shopify to pay partners, and there was no any other payment version of it. So I was like giving support still to my app, giving hours of work, paying for servers, which was quite expensive, because I also was building it in an efficient way, so I had to have a big servers at that time. And and I wasn't getting any money. That was my first moment. Actually, I decided to sell my app actually and stop doing Shopify stuff. And so I sold my app to one of my friends, and then I stopped building for some time. But it was on back of my mind. Like I really wanted to move to the country where I would not have any similar problems again. Like
Sure.
even today, you cannot use Stripe in Turkey, PayPal in Turkey, so it's really difficult to build international business. But it was something on my mind to start building my own company. So it was my goal, but I needed this kind of infrastructure. So Netherlands, one of the European countries which I moved, was one of the countries I decided that if I move there, people also speak English, and it's like nice country to be with good infrastructure. And I came here, also worked in some e-commerce, because you cannot just come and start like directly creating your own company. You need visa. So 5 years I worked for others in e-commerce space again, and enjoyed that also. But after getting my citizenship, I decided, so I'm going full in creating like Shopify apps, and this is now my second year doing this full time. Before it was like as a side project I was doing.
Oh, wow.
that.
So you have been around and you have seen many of the changes in terms of the APIs and how it's app bridge, things like this. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I built many. I refactored my apps many times. Like it was like before App Bridge, it was embedded, non-embedded,
Yes.
then BFS stuff. Like so many different things. I actually have seen many structures.
So what's your go-to tech stack when you build apps today?
At the moment, I started my career with PHP, and once you start with PHP, you are always you cannot go out of PHP. So that's my favorite language. So that's what I know the best actually, and I always prefer the tools that if it's not really mandatory to use something, just I'm always using something that I know the best. So on backend, it's always PHP and Laravel as a framework. That's also really nice framework, which is also is inspired by Ruby and Rails. That's a really nice syntax because of that, I would say. And on front ends, I recently like started using React. Recently, not recently, but almost like 2 years now, I'm using React since I want to get built for Shopify badge, and then you have to use Polaris, and for Polaris you have to use React. It was like because of that I started with React, and that's also now a language that I feel comfortable. Started feeling more comfortable, but yeah, thanks to AI also, it's like really helpful. And I'm writing also a lot of JavaScript as well. Again, thanks to AI. Like today, many projects which I started, I wouldn't be confident to start them without having AI as a helper. It helps a lot, I would say.
I'd like to push back on one thing you said, which was you started your career in PHP, and once you start, you have to stick with it. I also started my web development career in PHP, but then I did see the light and managed to switch to Ruby, so it's not too late, Farid. If you really want to come over, it's fine. But I think Laravel is an excellent framework, so if you love PHP, there's really no reason.
Actually, in university, when I was even my last year, I was thinking I will be Java or C# developer. I knew only these two languages very well, and I was like really good at C# and building a lot of tools, but ended up like this. Like I started PHP, and then all my career I didn't switch somehow, because at some point in my career I also went to more managerial roles. So I got a little bit far from developing, programming. So I was like in my last role, I was like more engineering manager, head of engineering roles, like more people management, and I didn't have chance to much coding a lot. But again, thanks to AI, that it helped me to go back to development again and be confident about writing code. Before that, I was almost feeling like I'm not going to code again.
Yeah, it's hard when you have to like context switch from main kind of, I don't know, primary objectives or goals. They go from helping manage people and supporting people in that regard to trying to get back into like code and stuff like that. It's definitely a lot of switching. So you talked about the tech stack. But you talked about how helpful AI is. What are the helpful AI tools that you're using right now? We all have opinions about this. It seems like though. I'm curious what you're using that you found to be really helpful.
Yeah, my favorite at the moment is Cloud Code. That's I'm using a lot. Like I'm also very like comfortable with using terminal. So it's like works on terminal and it's very easy to integrate. I tried like Cursor, but I didn't like the IDE, like the way that it works because I'm more like PHP Storm guy and. For this also I have GitHub Copilot helping me to autocomplete stuff, but almost like 90% of the things I'm now writing with Cloud Code and a little bit maybe GitHub Autopilot auto-completions helping me. But yeah, most of the things about programming is with Cloud Code and also for general stuff, I'm using ChatGPT for generating images, this kind of stuff. But again, like Cloud is my favorite at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that if you were using other tools for because one thing we have in the docket here, if we can get down to it with some of the other things we want to talk about is like the marketing and other pieces to that. So a lot of us are probably not using Cloud Code for that. Obviously, we're trying to leave a lot of that heavy lifting for like actually code intensive tasks. So that's ChatGPT is the main thing that you're using there.
Yeah. ChatGPT, actually, again, I'm for marketing purposes. Let's say I'm doing a YouTube video, right? I'm preparing YouTube video, then I'm giving transcript to Cloud, and then from web version of it, and just asking like generate for me YouTube descriptions for my video or generate for me timestamps. This kind of stuff also where it's very straightforward what needs to be done. I'm using Cloud there, but for stuff if you have some health related thing you want to ask, I would ask like calories or something like gym or something that life related. I'm mostly using ChatGPT, but then also for image generation because Cloud is not doing image generation at the moment, and I'm using ChatGPT for that as well. So that's
Now you're on Twitter or X, a lot too, just like I am a bit. Have you used Grok for any of this stuff?
I'm using Grok sometimes. I like this feature where you ask sometimes like to explain something because I see
Yes.
something in American joke like a US joke. I don't understand context of it. Then I ask like what they actually mean like here. That kind of stuff
Yeah,
actually.
that's I get that. That I'm American here and I still don't get the joke half the time. That I'm like, what are
It's
they even
true.
talking about? I missed
He has no
this.
sense of humor.
So that's usually my prompt for Grok is draw this in crayon for me. I don't understand what's happening. So AI is great for that. I was just curious because I know you do a great job as far as being very present in those spaces too. So I was curious if you were using some of those other
That's also one
AI
of the
tools.
things. One of the things that helped me a lot actually, like being active on Twitter, just sharing my journey. Like I met so many people actually just because of sharing my knowledge, and I didn't even know like what's the benefit of it. Like I just started posting my journey, and I didn't know what will be the benefit in the end for me. Just enjoying it, like sharing, not feeling alone. But then so many opportunities actually arise from that, just sharing with people and then people reaching out to you like someone is when I was in Canada in Toronto, people are coming and saying I owe you a beer, something you shared was very helpful for us. Like I didn't even know that, like that was very surprising. And yeah, I think it's really helpful just to share. Some people also say like you are sharing a lot and then you are attracting competitors as well. That's people see that as well, and which is true. Sometimes this happens, but I think it has more benefit than negative side of it. And in every platform, I think sharing stuff is you have different style. For example, like LinkedIn, I use more like for attracting merchants to my apps, But Twitter, I'm using just like speaking to my developer friends, like just people like me if I want something about Shopify. And then you can also get a lot of help actually. You're tweeting something like CCing Liam, our friend Liam, and then you are getting all this help from people. And actually, like we will dive into Shop Minis. But Shop Mini is also one of the reasons I started with it was Harshdeep's tweet about Shop Minis. So I have seen it, and then that's all how it started for me. Yeah, that's very helpful to be active on X and
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
Definitely, yeah. Like as far as kind of having a different reason that you're hanging out in different spaces, I'd agree. Kind of similar viewpoint as far as like LinkedIn and how to use it versus Twitter or X or whatever kind of type thing. So that's funny. I didn't realize that that's kind of where that all started. This sounds like a great transition too for how it started with Shop Minis. So we'll have to find this post. So Harshdeep posted something about Shop Minis,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it got you excited about it.
Harshdeep posting a lot, so I couldn't find the tweet. It's difficult to find the original tweet.
Well, I'll find it.
Yeah, he's
Just
tweeting
ask
a
Rock.
lot. So it's actually like I have seen some tweet, and then on our Slack community, I actually reached out to him and said, "Hey, Harshdeep, I see your tweet about Shop Minis. I'm actually interested to start to working on it, but I don't know where to start." And he said, "Okay, I will introduce you to one of the product managers working on that area," and asked for my email. And then Nicholas is sent me email about details. I think they have just template email that they are sending, and then there was all information about how to start building a mini app. So there was a presentation video showing like how can you install everything, and then there was a link to docs actually, which is that documentation was very helpful to just running these commands in your browser, and then you can just install SDK of Shop Mini and start building it. And I found it actually, it was saying also in the documentation, it should take like 1-2 weeks to develop it. And it also felt like it, like, okay, I can do something in 1-2 weeks. It looks easy. And that's basically how I started. But like finding idea, understanding the what I should build actually, what it is about part was a little bit more difficult. Like technical part was easier, I would say. Shall I dive into like that part, like how it's like building its? Yeah, sorry, Carl.
I was just
No, that's perfect.
I was-
Yeah, if you want to start moving that way, for sure.
Yeah.
Like talking about like you talked about like kind of what interested you initially, and then some of the things that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
went into that stuff. I think it's
Finding
interesting to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, people probably looking for ideas like why Shop Minis, like how they can build, what they can build, why they should build something, because many things are not clear at the moment. So for me, how I started thinking like what kind of idea I can build. First, I understood that Shop Minis are not like regular Shopify apps, like because I was thinking in that way, like okay, Shopify apps I'm building already, it should be something similar, but it's not actually. People just people not installing it on their stores or something. It's like there's this app called Shop on App Store and Play Store, and basically it's mobile app of Shopify. And once people are installing it, it's by the way is the number one in shopping category. This app, and people installing it a lot during Black Friday also, because whoever is shopping on any Shopify store, for tracking their shipping, they need that app. I think that's the most important feature of this shop app is tracking your shipping actually. So they get notifications, everything about their package. So that's how they start. And it's important to understand why Shopify wants people to build these Shop Minis and what's the goal behind it. It's important, then you can build around it. Like because in the end, Shopify knows the power of the partner ecosystem. They already have they are one of the powerful platforms, e-commerce platforms, because of partner ecosystem, I think. And like there is no probably anything close to Shopify at the moment in terms of this powerful ecosystem. And they know this power and they want to reuse it also for Shop app, because they have this app people using for tracking their shipping, and they want actually to make people actually discover other products, to open one new more channel for people that using Shopify to sell their products, so they can actually sell more. Basically, what Shopify wants to make the merchants successful, and the merchants can be successful if they sell more. So this is new channel for merchants to sell more stuff, and to make them sell more stuff, they trying to create some new experiences in this Shop app, the way that people will discover new products. And basically, if you go to Shop app now and under categories, it's very hidden, by the way. At the moment, Shop minis are in very hidden place. You really need to just click to categories and then scroll a little bit down, and then you will see three apps, three minis, and then if you click, you will see more. And that's how actually they are experimenting at the moment, what's possible. And the way that all apps at the moment, all minis works, your goal should be to help Shopify to sell products. And you need basically to think backwards a little bit. So to help Shopify sell more products, you need to show more products to people which they can buy. And how can you show products? You cannot just randomly show. You should have some kind of logic, some kind of structure for it. So for me, it was like I was thinking, what if I just show products by color? And then how can I do it by color? I can actually analyze your photo, your face, and then your hair color, your eye color, your skin color, and recommend you some colors, like saying like these colors are best suits you if you are wearing them. And then I can show you, when you click on colors, I can show you products. And that was my idea. And I was checking recently, like recent Shop minis before podcast, and I see that a lot of minis now created similar logics. Like one was for skincare. That was also one of my ideas. Like they are analyzing your skin. Again, you are taking photo, they analyze your skin, and they recommend you skincare products. Like that's also another app was Get That Look. You upload something and then they recommend you something. So there's like pattern here, very clear pattern. Everyone is following. So you do some action and then some products being recommended to you. So that's all the logic behind. So if you have some kind of technology, that's because for me, I didn't have any kind of technology that I can make recommendations. Like, for example, skincare. With AI, you can build something maybe average, but if you have really, before the Shop minis, you were already doing this, you have some kind of app that analyzing some photos based on that, making some recommendations, that can be very helpful. Then you don't need to do that part because that's already ready for you. And another example I have seen is like existing apps can use their own data for recommending other products. For example, you have a Shopify app which is creating discounts. So you know that this product, specific products, has discounts in the store. So you can create an app which will display just products of the stores which are using your app, which has good discounts. I have seen one app. I'm not sure if they are using their own app data for this, but it looks like it's one of the existing apps that's built that logic. But that would be also very smart, because I see also Instagram feeds. There was one app which is normally you can build the Instagram feed on your store, Shopify store. They are using the same data to create Instagram or TikTok-like experience where you are just scrolling products and then you can buy that products as well, because all the videos of the products. So it's also creates some kind of experience where people just can do shopping based on that experience.
Yeah, there's loads of ideas, and I think the biggest thing, or probably like the fundamental shift of when you're trying to think of what you can build, is it is for the actual customer of our merchants. Like we're used to thinking everything about like how can we support merchants, right? Like that's the idea of when we're building, whether you're in services or you're in apps or anything like this. But Shop Minis is kind of like evolved into this thing where we're actually building for everybody. Does any when it comes to that, and so like you said, Shopify obviously like wants to surface more products so more people are able to like purchase things here, and this is a better way or a different way to do that where it's pulling in like products from all these different stores based on what the end user is going to be able to use. I think one of the other new ones that I saw, I thought that was interesting, was they were creating kind of like little collections or like gift registry links, so you could go through and you could find specific products and it would let you save them, and then it kind of creates this link for them to visit, or in this view where it's just just their categories or whatever. So if you want to do a gift registry or something, you could build a gift registry directly from the Shop app. That was kind of unique. That was pretty cool. So hopefully we can share some of those things as far as like ideas and what's currently happening, because it all happens within the Shop app, so you need to get it, and it is hidden right now. It really is. You have to kind of go in and navigate around a little bit for it, because when your app was announced, your Shop Minis app here was announced, I was like, oh cool, I'm gonna go find it. I was like, where is this thing at? Like so it hopefully gets more surface area here in the future. So we've talked a little bit about ideas, like who you're building for, like the reasons, the way you should start thinking about building. You were part of this early access program, right? Like where there was only a handful of devs who were kind of like diving in there and doing that. And what was that like? Because you were obviously getting a little bit more feedback directly from people working on the product at Shopify, right? And so how did that go for you as far as like that experience of you submitted? I think the way it worked, you had to submit the app idea first, right? And then from there, you kind of got access to some of those materials so you could start building.
Yeah. We started actually working with David Hoffman. So he is one of the product managers there. That's also was motivation for me. Like there was many beta programs before in Shopify, which I missed. I couldn't join that for different reasons. But this time I said I really want to join this one, because having this experiencing this kind of close communication with product manager directly, and with David Hoffman it was very also nice communication directly. They don't have Slack anymore, Slack is finished, but on dev community forum they have sections where they are creating private messages with group of people. So that's new way of using these private Slack groups, I guess. And they just created this group, Nicholas, David Hoffman, a couple of developers as well, and there was me from our team. And just for this project also, I started it around Black Friday, and it was like preparations for Black Friday is going on. It's our one of the most intense time of the year actually. So my capacity wasn't really good for it. But I really wanted to start it because it looked like short project that I can finish in 1-2 weeks maximum. And then I had one of the friends who was asking me recently that I also want to quit my job, start working on some new project. What would you recommend me? And he came to my mind, like why not to make this app with this guy? And so I just asked him, and he's also working here in the Netherlands in very good company where he is actually a really good engineer, and he helped me a lot building this together, because like there was part where we need to do AI, and with AI both of us didn't have like too much experience. I had a little bit experience generating this kind of image related data, analyzing it and then generating, but with his help in that intense moment for me, that was really great. And that was also for me the way to actually test partnership with someone who I can in the future build company together, like make some project together, because like for my apps also doing projects sometimes with different people based on skill sets and based on project, and that was the moment for me also. And it was great motivation actually to work closely. Then they are basically from SDK. You are getting all this feedback, and you can also give feedback. But feedback actually part is not that private, because if it's something technical, they want you to ask it in public community forums, and you're reporting all the errors, so everyone can actually see everything. So it's also helpful. But I would say there is still some problems in the some things, a lot of things to improve because it's very new.
Yeah.
For example, like API which allows you to search things still doesn't support like countries, for example. That's very basic thing. Like if someone is using, let's say from Netherlands, I want to show only products available in Netherlands, but that's not possible at the moment. You just show based on color. I'm filtering them and showing, but there's no such a thing like I don't know if they are going to ship in that country or not. That kind of still like very basic things needs to be done probably. But I see one opportunity is coming, like in recent editions they announced catalog API. That can be very helpful actually, and I think that will make a lot of sense combined with shop minis. Someone was tweeting also about it. I think Gil was tweeting about this, that it was also nice combo. I agree with that. And I think that can be a game changer for finding products easier, because it's really hard to find. And data in shop app is not very well structured actually. Like when you are looking at it, it relies a lot on category information on Shopify. Like in product admin page, you have this category information, right? But not everyone is filling that information correctly. And it relies a lot on Metafields, like color. But again, people are not filling that correctly in their data in products. So you cannot, when you are searching products, it's actually hard to find correct products, because there are like billions of products maybe on Shopify, but you cannot find them because data is not correct. Like Metafields are not correctly filled, all this color information, material information.
So just to clarify real quick too, if I can interrupt you real fast. So in what you're talking about, so there's this concept or idea that's rolled out in the last year or so, I think, where we have standard category metafields, which is what you're talking about. These standard category metafields, they're surfaceable via shop, they're accessible in that way. But a lot of us, what we've been doing for years at this point, and we have data kind of stuffed in here improperly now maybe, is that we have these custom metafields for things like color or features and stuff like that, and those custom metafields aren't necessarily surfaced to developers in shop minis where they can actually access that data. So this probably further reinforces the need too for those of us that are building and supporting merchants on storefronts to start using standard category metafields, because this will make the data better than for shop minis, catalog, API, all this other stuff that we're using outside of that. And so so just clarifying that part real quick that we're talking about when it comes to the category metafields.
Yes, and Shopify actually working a lot of hard work on this part to influence people filling this data. You always in admin page, when you are entering admin product edit page, you see all these purple fields where AI suggesting you to just accept suggestion. Yeah, you just need to click on, if you are merchant on Shopify.
Just do it. Just accept it.
Yeah, just accept suggestions. It's most of the time this data is very accurate, and you just need to click on accept suggestions, and this data will be filled for you. You don't need even to do all this hard work and filling this data. But that's Shopify doing a lot of things there to improve shop app. I guess that's why it's a little bit related, and I think that's only place I know where this data is being used at the moment a lot. This all categorization, color data, everything. And probably if they merchants want to be shown more, visible more on the shop minis, which I guess in the future I'm betting on the Shopify to use it on more surfaces, which will increase usage of Shop Minis. And then you will get more traffic. It will be more valuable channel for you, because Shopify trying to make it more valuable channel for merchants, and they also need to do hard work from their side just to fill this data and make sure that their products will be discovered easier in the app.
Well, that's helpful information for me too, because that like I said, we've done this for a long time, where we've built out Metafields via custom Metafields, and then when these standard category ones rolled out, there wasn't actually a lot of motivation for people to move their data into them yet, because it wasn't really super clear. And at least initially, what a lot of us were using for Metafields on products for things like this, color features and stuff like this, or what have you, we needed it to surface filters, like in the storefront, the search and discovery app. And initially, when it rolled out, standard category Metafields were not supported as a filterable option. And so, and I only know this because I was literally building a store at the time, and we tried to use standard category Metafields. We dumped all the data in here, and then they're like, oh no, you can't actually use these as filters. And then it's like, no. So we had to go back and create our own color Metafield. Now, it rolled out several months later, but at the time, the build had to be done before then. And so, but now what I've been telling people, from my understanding as well, a lot of these standard category Metafields, again, these are synced, or they're built based on, the basis of this is Shopify's product taxonomy. So this standard product taxonomy makes products very accessible, not only from Shop Minis now, we're finding this is good because I can actually communicate that to merchants very clearly, but also like AI, all these different bots and how they access like shops and different things and what have you, this idea of a global catalog and those sorts of things. The data within the standard category Metafields are easily accessible and surfaceable to those, where if we want say agentic commerce to work, where people are keying into these specific values, it's pulling from these standard category Metafields as well. So these are becoming more and more important, but I didn't realize that about Shop Minis, that that makes it even more accessible. So this is a great call out for sure.
And so did it really take you 2 weeks?
Yes, it was, I think, maximum 2 weeks, because we finished it, and then we had like 3 or 4 rounds of reviews where they gave us some feedback for improving UX, and it was actually very helpful feedback, because my UX UI skills are not the best. Probably I was a little bit lazy to build it in the way that it would be best, but then they gave that feedback, it would be better if you build that.
Well, I don't know if lazy is a fair word for you, Farid, but you were on a timeline, you were trying to kick this out the door, so maybe rushed, not lazy. Let's say that. But that's cool. So you got some good feedback from the team. Is that feedback too that you can use on your apps as well, or is it really specific to the Shop Mini surface?
It was for Shop Mini surface more, for example, when you are showing colors, if user scrolls down, still show them as a sticky bar on the top, things like this, really small details which can make user experience great while using the app. So it was really nice touches that we made, and basically when you are running your app, it's also analyzing your code, it's packaging it and sending it to Shopify. And that review process actually is just on this community form. They are telling you okay, just change this and send it again. I think David is checking everything himself also manually.
Oh, wow. So the feedback was public too? Hey, fix this,
no,
fix
it
this?
wasn't public.
Okay. I was like, oh man, geez, that's brutal, man.
It was on private.
Okay. Yeah, they do have they have the capability in the forums now to do some private messaging or
some
those sorts
optional suggestions as well, if you want to improve that, also that kind of stuff. And that was a nice actually experience to work together directly with someone from Shopify, for a product manager, and I think that kind of experience is important as a partner in the future. They can this can open more opportunities for you, because now they know that how it is to work with us. So for me, it was one of the motivations just to experience working closely with Shopify and see how it is. And giving directly feedback also. Normally you would give feedback from community forum, like publicly, but here you have opportunity directly to give feedback in private chat and like ask something to be fixed. So many things actually working with from terminal, from CLI at the moment, like even checking your analytics, you can only check it from CLI. So you're writing some command like reports, days, and you are getting days, then you are running report to see product impressions, and then it's like downloading CSV to your code base directly, and you are checking it from CSV directly, like what is your traffic or something. For us, one of the ways that to check traffic actually, because we are using our OpenAI APIs, I can see how many requests came to my API. So that's the way that easier with dashboard without like downloading one by one, day by day, every report. It's really difficult. Every time I forget commands and I need to check them, it's really difficult at the moment. I hope they will build some dashboard. I guess Shopify also experimenting at the moment, right? They are trying to understand success of this project before really investing into building some dashboards where people can see analytics. They want to actually see if this idea works. Is people going to actually buy from using Shop Minis? Is people actually going to use them a lot? I think it's like this year, it's time where they are going to see all this data. And if this project is successful, they will continue with building proper dashboards, proper environments.
So, Farid, sorry to interrupt you, but that's a good point you mentioned just a moment ago about using your OpenAI log usage as a determining factor. So I think for a lot of folks, I think understand that with the minis, it's all hosted on Shopify. So you don't have any costs really in terms of the compute environment. But if you leverage an external service like your OpenAI API, obviously you're paying for that. So presumably there's some ROI for you in this. Like, is it clear to you, like, is the cost worth it? Are you going to be able to monetize this in some way? Have you thought through all those things?
Okay, just to clarify here, you also have backend servers, which is where you're making your calls. So for us, we just make the Cloudflare worker, which is very lightweight, but someone can prefer maybe server. But I would recommend using Cloudflare workers because it's really easy. And then our Cloudflare worker makes all validation, makes a call to OpenAI APIs, because you cannot put your API keys inside your Shop Mini. You cannot put anything basically, because that's basically front-end code, client-side code, which people can see. And for security reasons, you should have everything is secure on the back end. And for monetization part, like I think if at the moment, like it's not that much cost, but also Shopify was clear about like they will cover our cost for AI usage, because if you are part of this beta program, you can just send invoice. But for us, it wasn't even that high. Probably I will not even bother with sending that invoice. But if it would be high, then they are covering it up to $500, I think. If you have that much cost, then that can be covered. But as far as I understood from their plans, they are planning to build also native AI kind of native AI endpoints, where you don't need to use OpenAI APIs, but you will use Shopify's AI APIs, and you can call them, and you don't need anything external, so you will not have any cost actually. That's what I understood, because they mentioned something like that, like in the future, until that moment, we will cover your costs, and from after that point, you can use that API. So that's what I understand from this, like where they are going with that. And from monetization perspective, I think that's easy. Like actually, if you can help Shopify to sell something, they will pay you commission. That's also mentioned in the documentation as well. Like there will be, it's not clear at the moment how much, what's the percentage, but that's always how it works, right? Like in normal Shopify apps as well, like you are helping merchants to sell, they are paying you. Like that's how it will work. If you can help to discover and make sales through your shop mini, then you probably will also earn some commission from that, and that makes sense to maintain and continue maintaining shop mini. That's I think that's the idea behind it. And also they had like some, if you are part of beta program, there was a bonus money that they sent to our account. For us, I will just, for transparency, it was $5K they sent to our account for this shop mini. And yeah, that also was nice. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, nice to help
Not bad
offset some development costs and stuff at least too. That's really nice.
yeah.
Well, I know, Taylor, there's a lot of other things you wanted to cover, including marketing, things like that, but we're starting to get a little late in the show. Is there any last thing you want to hit on before we go to Changelog?
Farid, I don't, as far as that goes, I know you have several apps, and so I think that's really interesting. We talked about, it would be really interesting to talk about, the marketing apps and the App Store ranking and stuff. Did you, I guess maybe high level, because you do have, I feel like, a good understanding on marketing apps and those sorts of things. You've sold apps and all this other stuff in addition to building and stuff. So would you say that was partially motivation too for you, like with Shop Minis? Is this a good marketing move for other app devs? If you're looking at the app mini space and some of these monetization paths aren't clear, can you at least put it in the column of like, this is good marketing for my app?
I think, as I mentioned one example, if you can make your some shop mini, which will be very popular, let's say in the future it become very popular, and shops want to use it, like this discount app, where you can discover a lot of good discounts, but these discounts are created by using this specific discount app, let's say. In that kind of example, merchants will actually want to use your regular app to create their discounts. It can be motivation for them to install your app, and it will be one more benefit for using actually your app. If you can build something like that with that logic, or that Instagram app, which I really like this, like you're just scrolling and you're seeing products just like TikTok on inside shop app. And that was really a good fit for shop minis, I think. Like, and if products you see in that shop mini are coming from the app which merchants are installing on Shopify App Store, that's very good connection, very good motivation for people actually to install your app. And I think that's also easy to recognize. Okay, this is coming from this app, and they put very good naming, made it very clear. And that also can be a good motivation. And once some merchants are getting some revenue from there, they see this channel actually works. They will spread this information, and other merchants also will start using it. This kind of good things spreading really, really fast, and people getting aware of that. And I think shop minis can be used in this way. Like, for example, the way that I used it is not good for marketing my apps, because I didn't have any app which is good fit for this. Like it will not be like something that it needs to be good fit, like the apps that I mentioned. But other than that, I think that would be main thing, like just finding a good fit.
Very good.
Awesome.
Wow. Well, Farid, I learned so much listening to you share about the Shopify minis and your experience with them. And I wish we had time to dig into more of that, especially the marketing pieces. Maybe we'll have to have you on again. But congratulations on getting that out the door and getting the beta bonuses.
Yeah, it's huge.
And excited to see where that goes for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Taylor, do you have anything for the changelog today?
Real fast, since our last episode was editions, right? Like we talked about the website, and there's so many changelog options in here. Just real quick, we'll cover just a couple that have popped since then. Some of these are action required, so again, people just need to be making sure they're checking the changelog. But customer marketing URL fields now require write access. And this is December 18th that we're, or 19th, I'm sorry, that we're recording. This changelog announcement dropped yesterday on the 18th, so hopefully you've caught this by the time this episode comes out. But it's effective immediately, which you don't see a lot of these where they're effective immediately. So this is obviously, if something is breaking, you should have already got a notice for that. But basically, a security vulnerability kind of type thing here that they've updated. So make sure to check that out if you're using some customer marketing URL fields as well. Definitely be sure to check that out. Another thing that came post editions, I think, maybe. Because December 17th is when the date for this is. But discount functions API now supports rejecting discount codes. So this has been something that has been asked for, moving closer to parity for the scripts that are being deprecated. We're getting some better functionality here, so you can do things like preventing double discounting on specific sale price, or managing some more fine-grained combinations of discount codes, disqualify certain products from discounts. This is the piece that's been missing from scripts that everybody's been asking for since discount functions rolled out, and as of December 17th, it's now available as well, so be sure to check that out there. That is very exciting. Everybody's super jazzed about that one. Another quick, just action required one, just to be on your radar, and last one, Karl, I promise for today at least, is Venmo and PayPal are now treated as separate payment methods. So this has not been the case historically, kind of type thing. But if you were previously hiding something like PayPal's accelerated payment method or something like this at checkout, it would also hide Venmo. Won't do that anymore. So you have to explicitly hide Venmo if you're doing PayPal and Venmo or something like this or whatever. Just understand that they are now considered two separate accelerated checkout options. So important.
Amazing work as always, Taylor. Your diligence and attention to detail does not go unappreciated around here. Despite my jabs. Yeah. Well, okay, at this point, you're still with us. Yeah. You made it to the third half of our show. For Karl, hope your workout's going great. It's time for Picks of the Week. So this is the time where we share something that's top of mind for us. Could be anything. Could be technology. Could be something else. I'll go first today before I forget mine. It's food related. Surprise, surprise. So I'm doing the keto thing. Been doing that for a couple months now. And I have found sometimes you just need a little treat in your life. And I've done all the, allulose and things and tried to make the fake desserts, and it just doesn't work for me. I just don't like the taste. But I did find one thing I do enjoy, and that is, I think the company is called Russell Stover. They make sugar-free candy for people with diabetes and people doing keto and things like that. And their peppermint patty sort of substitute, the dark chocolate peppermint thing, it's on point. So that's my special indulgence right now. Check them out. You can get them at Kroger. Not too expensive. But just expensive enough so you don't eat the whole bag. So that's mine. Farid, do you have yours?
Yeah, for me, I will mention some technology that I'm recently started building some new Shopify app, and I'm using some new Shopify technologies that I was planning to use. It's like you probably heard about custom data declarations, where you can just declare meta objects and they are automatically deployed to stores, so you don't need to think about updating them, like doing all these definitions for each store. So this makes things really easy to implement. And then I'm creating meta objects by using that, so where I'm holding a lot of data inside meta objects, and also using admin intents for editing these meta objects. Then I'm creating some meta object. Then I just, when user clicking on some button, I am opening pop-up with admin intents, and they are seeing all this data. They can edit it, and once they are saving it, everything is just stays on Shopify, and it can be very quickly accessed from storefront. It's like it works super fast actually, for if you want to build some very fast interfaces where your data just stays inside the meta object, and you can actually reference products and as a lists inside that. Like that feature, I didn't even know that's possible, and this you can access also on storefront. And this creates an amazing experience where you allow user to edit it inside your embedded app very easily without leaving any page. And then you can also display it on the storefront really easily. That's like, sounds like maybe something simple, but all these technologies combined together makes it a really good setup. I like if someone is building some new apps, like thinking about architecture, that's something that I'm using myself at the moment and enjoying it a lot. This creates some really big competitive advantages, I would say. With the
very
way
cool.
that before how people was building similar things before, like for example, like uploading image. You cannot upload image, like there's no app bridge functionality to upload image, but with this meta object admin intent, you can open that model where people can upload the image easily. You don't need to build it yourself.
That's a really good tip.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, Taylor, bring it home. What's your pick?
I feel
Can you
bad
top
'cause,
that one?
like Farid is like picking all these, like, this is like I'm a developer and I'm doing all the Shopify things. He's got the Shopify swag, and you picked, you know, food, and I'm picking food basically. So we recently got a Ninja Creamy. I don't know if you've seen these things, but it's basically a way for you to make your own ice cream at home, and it's awesome. So that is my pick. I love ice cream. Frozen custard, I've figured out how to make it at home, and it's been fantastic. So, yeah, that's my pick. Very, very big fan so far.
Hold on a second. Let's just be clear, because I looked into this too, this Ninja Creamy thing.
Oh, no.
Being a gastrointestinal entity. So you have to, like, make it and then freeze it. And all the Creamy does is, like, make it come out like soft
Spin it
syrup.
for you. So,
Yeah, that's all.
yes.
So you're still doing all the work.
Yes, but.
What's the point?
Yes, but. Well, for one, if you value high quality ingredients in your frozen custard and or ice cream, you control everything that's going into your food, which I'm a big advocate of, because obviously, unfortunately, here in the United States in particular, the things that they can qualify as food is kind of scary. So it is a whole thing. But outside of that, it does have a function as well. So have you ever gone to these ice cream places, these ice cream establishments? And I'm going to take a frozen custard establishment for example that I enjoy going to, Wits, locally here.
Yeah.
And it's just expensive. They get your order wrong half the time because it's a high school kid or a college kid that just doesn't care all that much, and that's fine, right? That's fine. It's still ice cream. It's still good, but it's not what I wanted. So the Creamy also has this option where you can just buy the ice cream if you want to, and then mix in your own stuff. So, you know, when for some reason every time I've gone to our local place, I just want a frozen custard with Reese's peanut butter cups. Okay, this is a whole thing. You asked. This is your fault.
No.
And they cannot believe that I just want vanilla custard with one topping in it. Everyone's like, no, do you want this Buckeye Blitz, or do you want like to add this and this? I'm like, no, just put the one thing in it, man, and mix it up. That's all I want. Now I can do that. I don't even need them anymore.
Okay.
So
all right. Yeah. You're safe.
That's
the whole point though is that this is not like you push a button and instant ice cream. Like you have to do a fair bit of work up front to actually be able to make use of it. That's the only thing I'm trying to say.
well, preparation, sure. You've got to mix ingredients and then put it in the freezer overnight, and then it's ready for you to mix the next day. So
it's not like,
also
hey,
good,
it's snack
maybe.
time. Let me get my Ninja Creamy out and push a button, and I got ice cream. It's like, if I didn't think about it 24 hours ago, then I'm toast.
But that's probably good. And I'm always thinking about ice cream, so I was definitely thinking about it 24 hours ago. But maybe if I run out, maybe it'll make me eat less ice cream. I think that's what I'm going for, Carl.
No. Okay. That's good. I'm not going to eat ice cream anyway, but it's good to know. So, Farid, sorry I had to suffer through that. I felt very passionate about the Ninja Creamy because I almost fell for it.
I love
myself.
this sweet stuff also.
Okay.
I like to see you guys also. I'm addicted also to sugar-like stuff.
It's a problem,
I'm
man. It's a problem.
trying to avoid it as much as possible, but I'm losing that battle all the time.
Well, you have done it again. You have wasted another perfectly good hour you could have spent building a Shopify app mini, listening to the Liquid Weekly podcast. Farid, thank you so much for being with us. Taylor, don't forget to make some ice cream for tomorrow. And the rest of you, happy hacking and enjoy the holidays. Actually, this comes out after the holidays. Hope you enjoyed your holidays, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yep.
Thank you.
Right. Thanks, Farid.